Welcome back to the Breakthrough Podcast, Discovering New Pathways. My name is Omar Muhammad, helping you improve and progress in business and in life. And over there, we have Leon Robinson the Fourth. Hey, bro, how are you?
Man, it's a blessing, man. I can't complain, man. Glad to be back and excited for our guest today.
All right, good deal. So before we get to our guests, the Breakthrough Podcast is brought to you by the Minority Business Development Agency out of Washington, D.C. And we have a number of events. We always have activities for those individuals who are formerly incarcerated. Some will just go by them briefly. We have this particular podcast. We have an entrepreneurship boot camp. We now have a specialized training program. And Leon, I don't know if you know about this. It's with Luvon Dungy IV. And we're working with formerly incarcerated individuals and getting them in the rehab business. So we definitely are going to do that. We're going to start having monthly meetups now. So the second, for those who are in the Maryland area, we're going to meet on the second Thursday of each month for about 2 hours from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Really to network with each other, as well as we'll provide some continuing education, some skills, we call it skill up training as well. And then, of course, we have the Returning Citizen, the collaboration with the Returning Citizen magazine. We do Ride University. So we do a lot of things for those individuals who are formerly incarcerated. And with that said, more information and past episodes can be found at edacmorgan.com. And we're on Instagram at Ride Small Biz. And we'll be on Facebook real soon. All right. So with that said, we're going to bring our special guests. As you can see, we have Marlo Hargrove Sr., and he'll tell us a little bit about what he does. But before we get started, we always ask this question, Marlo, how long have you been home? And then after returning home, what were your plans?
Thanks for having me. For one, when I am a returning citizen and I've been home, it's been a blessing for 20 years.
Oh, man, congratulations, man. That's a blessing, yeah.
Yes, thank you. And in that 20 years, God has blessed me to start an entrepreneurship business, which is called F.A.C.E.
Before you get there, I know you want to jump right into it. Yes. So when you came home, what were your plans? Were your plans to start this business, or what were your plans?
No, my plans was to go back to what caused me to be incarcerated from the beginning. That's the ripping and the running, the chaos and the confusion.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't have no plan.
I hear you. All right. So how did you get to the point where you had a plan?
Well, I got to the point of having a plan, Omar. Now, not just saying it to be saying it, but I really got tired of being sick and tired and finding myself going back and forwards inside of incarceration, which changed my life around.
Wow. And then from there, you got started in business. Why was getting started in business so important to you? And then let's talk about your business.
Okay, so I can get into the meat of the meat now.
Come on, man, let's go.
So in saying that, what actually had transpired, I got tired of being sick and tired, as I just mentioned, and trying to find employment with a criminal background was hard. Do you have a felony on my application? And some of the times I didn't even fill out the application because I knew that I wasn't going to get hired. That's how I felt. So I said, I have to create something that is durable and sustainable rather than me keep getting doors slammed in my face because of my past. Right. So I was fortunate to assemble, which is called F.A.C.E., an acronym which stands for Freedom Advocates Celebrating Ex-Offenders, free from the lifestyle of addiction, free from the lifestyle of being incarcerated, becoming an advocate to speak on these things as being not able to find employment and things and housing and things that need to, and to celebrate the fact that now I'm no longer in bondage. Right. Ex meaning no longer, an offender simply means you have done wrong. So that's when F.A.C.E. came into full play of 2002, and we've been in existence and rolling now here in 2022 and looking for the coming 2023.
Wow. So how long after you came home did you actually start F.A.C.E.? Because I know you said when you came home, you didn't have really a plan. You were going to go back to what your your previous lifestyle was that landed you in prison for 20 years? How long did it take you to figure out like this is what I should be doing?
Well, what actually happened was the fact that in let me be clear, I didn't do 20 years behind the incarceration of the four walls. I did 20 years institutionalized, locked up in my mind.
Gotcha.
I spent 2 years of being incarcerated behind the four walls. I spent 20 years locked up in here. And then
Gotcha.
that when I came out, I was actually mandated to come out through the court system due to my criminal background being dealing with drugs and alcohol and things of that nature and the lifestyle of addictions. So what wound up happening, I was court ordered to go into a recovery program. And in that recovery program, I was like, wow, I like this. And if I can assemble my own program, I'll do it like this and I'll do it like that. And then it became into fruition while I was doing my time inside of the recovery program after coming home from incarceration.
Gotcha.
Oh, wow. And so what resources, I mean, were there a ton of resources out there to help you get your business started? And before you ask that, are you a for-profit or nonprofit?
We're a nonprofit.
Okay.
We're a nonprofit here in Baltimore, Maryland, 501c3. We have strong relationship with our politicians here with different various other reliable programs, providing mental health, substance abuse, psychiatric therapy, case management, and the list goes on. The things that I was privileged to when I was in the program, and it was called Recovery King. Recovering from, again, the lifestyle of addiction, the lifestyle of substance abuse. And that's what helped me to galvanize information and equip me so that I could eventually start my own business.
Absolutely. So those resources, what were those resources that helped you get started?
They had job readiness program that we had peer support. Well, but our peer support was basically hands-on mentoring, guidance. When we had men's group, where so we would come not talk about what caused you to be incarcerated, but what can we do to help you to be, now that you're out, be sustainable, how to gain full employment. So it was a program around at the time, such as it was called Jericho. Here in Baltimore. We had Jericho, and there was something else called, which is still here in Baltimore, Strive. We have the Strive program, and as well as they're no longer in existence, it was called Prisoners Aid. So I was able to go through these programs and get myself sustainable in a process within mind that eventually the entrepreneurship in me, because if I could do that in a lifestyle of addiction, then just trying to turn all that negative around to good and be able to help somebody who has gone through the same stuff that I had to.
Wow. That's important. That's important. And, so, on this particular show, we bring those individuals who were formerly incarcerated, who are now entrepreneurs, as well as some resource providers, in between, so I'm glad that we have you on this particular episode, so how are people learning about the work that you do? You've been doing this for a while.
20 consecutive years.
Yes. So
actually,
how do people find you?
Well, we do have a website, which is www.F.A.C.E, F-A-C-E, Baltimore, all one word, facebaltimore.org, O-R-G, as well as a phone number, which is 410-522-FACE, which stands for 410-522-3223.
Okay. And I'm not sure if you want to show your Facebook. Do you want to? Your Facebook, your website. Do you want to show your website?
When you say show it,
share. I can share. You can share your screen. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not, but that's fine.
Okay.
If someone want to go and view the website, by all means, I welcome them the opportunity to do so. We have a great rapport here in Baltimore as well as in DC, because I know Mr. Roach Brown, who has the radio station there in Washington, DC. We were fortunate to be on his show, the F.A.C.E organization, one time. So I'm looking to, again, and this is great, to extend our services here, not just in Baltimore, but out to you all in DC as well.
All right, good deal. And so let's talk about when people start businesses. Sometimes they're solo.
Yeah.
They're doing the business by themselves until they're able to scale up and they can begin to incorporate more people. So with who's on your team? Do you have a
I
team?
have I have one of my colleagues, and I call him my big brother, and I'll share this real brief. When we both were out in the storm prior to F.A.C.E coming into existence 20 years ago, back in 2020, I'm sorry, back in 2002, what happened was he would come down the streets after he had gotten himself together, got cleaned up from the substance abuse, out of prison, the whole 9 yards, and I would see him. And he called me Low. He said, Low, it's room for you as well. And being again real brief and seeing him, to just know where we came from, that his life had changed drastically, allowed me to see that it can be done too. So that inspired me. So once I got myself together and going and being institutionalized and being locked up the whole 9 yards, and I came out, we reconnected. And we've been reconnected and working together. So I'm a firm believer, what better person can help somebody who has gone through the same vicious cycle too? So we were able to help each other and galvanize, and we actually have an additional person who did 47 consecutive years,
Wow.
47
Wow.
consecutive years in jail, inside of jail, who's
Wow.
been in our program for the last 5 years, by the name of Mr. Earl Nelson, who's in his 70s now, who's along with us. And we see him as our role model because he's a prime example to let us know that the work that we've done and embedded our lives into, that it really does work. And he is a living proof and example to show that we are doing the great work here in Baltimore.
Mm.
Awesome, man. I do have a question though. How can you tell any viewers that may have experience or going through the same trials of overcoming incarceration, having to come back into society, to like never forget where they've come from? Like, how has that kept you grounded and helped you stay sustained in your business to not forget where you come from?
Well, life on life experiences. It's the world, and I can strongly say this with profoundly, the world will never let us forget where we came from. Once you say ex-offender, people, but is ex meaning no longer offender to simply have done wrong. So whether we're ex, we're all ex something, whether we went to prison or not.
Right.
So the stereotype, it's like, oh man, okay. So what inspired me to connect with people again, like I mentioned, the guy Archie Lee, who showed me through his walk the example, not doing his talk, but doing his walk, that it can be done. So I connected myself with people who are walking it and not just talking it. So it allowed me to galvanize with information and tools that I could bring to the table. And we strengthen each other like iron sharpens iron, and bring other brothers as well as sisters along to help empower them too.
Mm.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, this show is about, this is your platform right now to share, what you're doing, not only as a business, but as a person, and how you're helping other people as well. And that leads me, when we bring on nonprofits, we always ask, what is it that you need people to assist you with?
Well, I know one of the main things that people first thing offhand and say, well, we need money. Yes, we do. That money, that sustainability, but to connect with like-minded people such as yourselves, who has a heart, a compassion to help people. Because if we're driven off of just galvanizing money, then we lose the fact that we're not helping the people. So people such as yourselves that really care and have platforms such as this, that someone will actually get an opportunity to view it, who may be in position to help financially, to be able to help, with a resource, or connect us with some other like-minded people such as yourselves. And that's how we begin to grow. I don't call this a business, I call it a ministry. I feel compelled to go back and help other brothers and sisters because it could have been worse. You know, I know how it feels to be penniless, homeless, broke, stabbed, robbed, left for dead, in prison, not knowing where the next meal going to come from, eating out of trash can, losing my parents at the age of 35 and 37, both to alcoholism. So again, but by the grace of God, there go I. So I'm not my brothers or sisters' keeper. I am my brother. I am my sister. So when I'm helping them, that surpasses any amount of paycheck that somebody can reward me with, or the accolades, or posters, or, you know, speaking highly of me, because it's the God that's working through me to help me to see people can change. Because I'm that one living proof. If they say nobody can do it, I'm that proof. And I want to help others to show that it can be done too. So that's the sustainability that I ask for, you know, the listeners and the people who are watching, the like-minded people. And I'll say this real brief. If you're not serious about helping the people, or actually, or connecting and helping us, then I ask, please don't waste our time. Don't call, because again, we don't have time to waste, and we surely don't want to waste your time. We want like-minded people such as yourselves, and be able to not only help you all, but show you how, again, we can help each other and strengthen those that needs our support.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm gonna push back some more. What else do you need as an organization? I heard money. I heard connection to like-minded people. Is there anything else?
Yeah, what are the dreams? Like, what are the goals? Like, you've been doing it for 20 years. Like, what are now that you've been doing it, you've seen some things, you've made some impact. Like, what's the dream? Like, what's the legacy? What are the goals that you have? And how can we really like help this organization make more of an impact?
Okay, so I'm glad you emphasized that more detail. In saying that, we're looking to, and with the hope and the intentions, to open a community center, and opening that community center to have like a place, again, a safe haven, or somewhere that folks can come, like a one-stop center, and receive all of those holistic approaches of supportive services, whether it be mentoring, case management, transitional housing, assisting housing, peer support, linkage to care, therapy, whatever those services are that we are licensed to provide. We would love to have a one-stop shop center to be able to do that, rather referring all over the place, that we'll be able to say, hey, the F.A.C.E organization is here, and you can get all your needed needs met right within that facility.
Right. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. You know, so, you know, I did a workshop on what's in the name. So with yours, and I like acronyms too, you know, so how did you come about the name of the business as F.A.C.E?
Well, what actually happened was, it was this Catholic priest. And again, like I stated earlier, it was mandatory for me to go to groups, because I was in the program. That was a part of my sentencing. And coming out of incarceration, not being prejudiced, I'm far from that. Don't have a prejudice bone in my body. A Catholic priest, actually, I had to go to, and I'll be real brief, I had to go to, I was
You have to be brief, bro. You got this.
Okay, go to his church. I had to go to this Catholic church and do groups. So as I'm going to these groups to actually attend groups, you know, so I'm sitting there and I'm listening, and I'm like, look, I need to be free. You know, like it burst out of me, because I have this energy, this zeal, this drive. And I said, I need to be free, because what I was hearing, it was like, it was surface. It was like, come on, man, we hurting. I'm hurting, you know. And then I was making it personal, not saying we, I'll say what I. And then as I was saying, I said, man, you know, I said, man, you need to speak, you know. So that was the freedom to speak, and then the advocate to speak on the behalf of. And I said, man, I can celebrate. I ain't locked up no more, you know? So then that's when they was like, oh man, and if it offends anyone, you know, shame on you. I'm not apologizing for this. I don't like the words ex-offenders. Let's call them previously incarcerated people, returning citizens. And I get all that, got it good. But it is what it is,
Yeah,
and it's gonna be what we make it. I'm
right.
not looking at the numbers behind your name or the letters in front of your name, Dr. So-and-so, or how many PhDs or bachelors and all of that. How can you help me? You
Right.
know, so me saying, oh yeah, this is up in your face. We ex-offenders. You
Yeah.
know, change my name, but are you help me change the words, you know, to fit whatever needs to fit? It's good. I got it. All of that. But that's how F.A.C.E came into existence. Freedom advocates celebrating ex-offenders. And with the pastor, he was like, your energy, your energy. So he said, what do you think about helping somebody like yourself? So instantly I was like, whoa, what do you mean? He said, no, 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 no. He said, now come. Now, mind you, I'm just coming out of jail. I got my guards up. So he said, no. He said, well, you can actually go out and with your energy, you can speak about those things of being free and being advocate and celebrate all of that, the ex-offenders, you know. So I said, wow. I said, okay. So as I was going out, I was saying, hey, I'm the face of F.A.C.E. You know, I'm the face of F.A.C.E. So, and then it had it had a ring to it. It had, and I always stuck by that. Well, you need to take the word face off and call it previous. I said, listen, you could take all the words away. I still need their help. And I always state also that help needs help too.
Mm,
Okay. Doesn't mean that
mm,
if I take off the words face or ex-offenders, you know, I don't have to tell you who I am
right.
in order for you to help me. I don't need accolades in order for you to help me. I don't need, you know, to be a previously incarcerated person and not say ex-offender. At the end of the day, I still need the help. So that's what drew
Mhm.
my attention to calling it F.A.C.E. And again, 20 consecutive years of rolling and doing this work. And it has not been easy. It's not easy now.
Yeah.
You know, but we're going to continue to do the work that we do because we are the work.
Yeah.
I am the pulse, and we've been fortunate to be one of the go-to models here in Baltimore for reentry. We go inside the institutions, we connect with the youth. We're having challenges with the youth here, which is global across them with the youth. However, though, that's me. I am that youth. They're crying out for help. So as they crying out, and I understand where they at, I'm willing to go into the belly of the beast.
Mhm.
I call it the harvest field because that's where the people are, the worst
You got
conditions,
me.
worst people.
Yeah.
That's where I go.
Yeah.
That's what we do. I want to be right there. Because
And
if
I
I can, if I say this and I'll be quiet and listen to you, please. If I can be incarcerated and deal with the lifestyle of being incarcerated, locked up, and being locked up in my mind, then surely I can deal with the consequences that's
oh
come
yeah.
out in society.
Oh
So I
yeah.
want to be right there. If that's where that person's sitting at on the gutter, I'm going to roll my sleeves up and get right in the gutter with them. Meet them where they are means meeting them where they are and not where we want them to be.
Wow.
And I admire the enthusiasm and passion, man. I could tell this is something that is a part of who you are and your purpose, man. So keep it up, man. I definitely want to connect with you, see how we could collaborate. Because, like you said, we're here to help and minister to each other and serve each other.
Yes.
And that's why God has us here. And have you doing the work that you're doing. So. I applaud you, man, and may God continue to bless everything you got going on with the F.A.C.E organization.
Thank you. So, brother Omar, we got that recorded, right? So, we got it on tape. No, but
Beyond's a real man.
yeah,
He's the real deal.
I have no problem with coming to DC to connect with
Now,
you,
we're
brother.
in Baltimore, bro. I just
Oh,
happen to say
okay.
that we're
Okay.
funded by the Minority Business Development Agency, which is in DC, but we're at Baltimore, at Morgan State University.
See, now again, we got this recorded, right? There's no reason now we all in Baltimore that we cannot make this happen. And see, this is and I'm glad that came out this way, how so many programs are out here, but no connectivity. You know what I mean? No connectivity to help God's people. It is mind blowing. We have so many programs, but are they reliable programs? And that's
Right.
the difference. Anybody can have a program, but being reliable and having a track record and having a rapport with the community and the returning citizens, ex-offenders, returning persons, all of those who stand in need of our support, they promote the work that we do more so than we do. We supposed to make it sound good.
Yeah.
But when you have someone that benefit from your program, like I said, I got a guy that 47, 48 years consecutive to the door. He told me after 5 years, you know, I ain't going nowhere. He said, man, you're going to have to put me out of it. He said, because after 47 years, when I came home, he said, you was the only one that reached out to me and helped me. So he said, man, I owe you. I said, man, it helped. It excites me more to help you, you know, than you helping me.
Right.
So again, it's not about the ego.
Yeah.
It's about the people. And that's what we got to keep in mind at First Going. So I would love to connect with you guys, man. Anytime I can get another opportunity to be in on a podcast or help any individuals, you know, I'm open, I'm willing.
All right, well, we definitely appreciate that. And one of the things that, you know, we came up with these meetups is because, you know, the individuals that have come through our program, you know, they basically say, how can we get together? Because you remember the first couple of years, it was all what we're doing here. It was all virtual. Now that we're doing face-to-face, you know, how can we get together to see where the collaborations are? So those meetups, second Thursday of each month will be critical and important for all of us to get together and network. So definitely want to make sure that you're part of that.
And Omar, I was thinking about this now that we kind of have gotten out of that phase of shelter in place and doing everything virtual, you know, maybe in 2023, we could start doing some podcasts in person.
Oh, man.
Find a location where we can really, you know, get in person, face to face with all our guests so we can really, you know, take our podcast to the next level.
I love that. I love that. We're going to make that happen. Got that recording, Marlo, right?
Yes.
So we definitely will do that. Oh man, that's good, Leo. We're gonna definitely work on that. So Marlo, with the time that we do have remaining, you know, how can people again reach out to you and then let people know how they can assist your organization?
Well, we have a real brief. We have, and the reason why I say real brief, because I can go in. I mean, but again.
Well, you have 2 minutes.
Okay, so I only need one.
I got you.
All right. We can be reached at 410-522-3223. And also our website is F.A.C.E. Baltimore, F.A.C.E. Baltimore.org. Yep.
Absolutely. Well, man, we definitely appreciate you, Marlo Hargrove Sr. Really appreciate you coming on to the Breakthrough Podcast. And man, we definitely will be in contact. Any final thoughts, Leon?
Man, thank you so much for joining, man. And we definitely will be in touch to connect with you and collaborate and see how we can continue to help people discover new pathways and take people to the next level of their lives, regardless of what they may have gone through. So thank you so much, brother. I really appreciated your time today.
Absolutely. And thank you guys both as well. And know that we already have the victory. And as long as we don't quit, we win.
I love it, man. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you, Leon, for coming on board. Until we see each other again, continue to improve and progress. Peace.
This is Mix La Production.